everybody, it's James here with the Sawyer Family Reviews channel. Today is Wednesday, February 13th, 2019. Happy early Valentine's Day. This is your weekly comic book pickups video. Every week, I pick up my boys at least one comic each. Oftentimes, it's more than one. I pick up my daughter Gracie one as well, even though she can't read yet. And as always, I pick up my comics at Queen City Comics in Fairfield, Ohio, zip code 45014. If you're in that area and into comics, go check out the shop. Let's jump in. True Believers is still focused on Captain Marvel due to the Captain Marvel movie coming out next month. But what's interesting is this time around, it's focusing on Marvel, or however you want to say it, Captain Marvel, instead of the Carol Danvers Captain Marvel. So that's kind of neat, kind of a different change of pace. So we've got, as always, these True Believers are $1 reprints of classic Marvel stories tied into a current event. This time around, we get a reprint of Marvel Superheroes number 12 and Marvel Fanfare number 24 with the coming of Captain Marvel, written by Stan the Man Lee and Gene Colan doing the art. Yeah, so this is the first story. Some background on next issue, The Attack. We've got the second story. Is this got a page? There we go. Chris Claremont, David Ross doing pencils on the second story. Got the FF. Oh yeah, this is kind of neat. These are kind of filling some of the gaps before we go see the movie. If we go to the theater to see the movie, I don't know for sure if that's going to be on the agenda before Avengers comes out or not. But these will kind of give them some more backstory on Captain Marvel and Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel versus Ronin. True Believers number 1. Battle for the Life of the Galaxy. And if Marvel fails, Rick Jones dies. $1 reprint. And this one I think is by Starlin, right? Is this one by Jim Starlin? Captain Marvel number 41. There's not a thing that tells... Oh, here we go. Nope, Steve Englehart and Al Milgrom. All right, my bad. Yeah, so here he is in his other outfit. It's $1. It's Captain Marvel. It's classic Marvel. There we go. There's those two. Next up is a book for Gracie, Disney Afternoon Giant number 3. This is $6, which is kind of a bummer, but it is a giant book. It's got 2 stories in it. The first story is Story 1, DuckTales Rifle Owners Part 3, No Refunds, No Returns by Warren Spector and Jose Massaroli. And Story 2 is Chippendales Rescue Rangers Worldwide Rescue Part 3, writer Ian Brill and artist Lionel Castellani. So yeah, the first story is a classic DuckTales story, and the second story is a classic Rescue Ranger story. Well, I say classic, but I don't mean like this is a reprint of another story. I'm saying like old school DuckTales. And even though Rescue Rangers hasn't had a reboot, it's in the old Rescue Rangers style. Yeah, these are great. We have all those DVDs. We love Disney Afternoon, so she'll dig this, and Keaton will probably read it as well. I have another one for Gracie today. I saw this Marvel Superhero Adventures and that Disney Afternoon sitting there, and I'm like, I can't decide. Like, you know what? I only ever get her one book, and she can't read yet, but let's go ahead and grab her 2. This one's like doing some static clingy on the pages. Looks like there's a lot of stories in here, so I'm not going to run down all these creative teams. But it's like that old Marvel Heroes line, and they did like a Marvel Superheroes cartoon like this. So it's all done in that style. And she likes Marvel, and these guys look cool. And these pages are super static clean. Look at that. Look at that pull back like that. All right. There's one for her. Keaton had no new books this week, so I jumped into the back issue bins again. X-Men The Hidden Years number 5. I think he has 1, 2, and 3. There was no 4 in there, so I grabbed number 5. This is a John Byrne series from... What year is this from? Let's see. We go 2000, where it takes place after the original X-Men run ended and they started doing the reprints, and before Giant Size X-Men, where the new team was introduced. So John Byrne did this series, filling in kind of the stories in between. Looks like Kazar's in this one. And the series wasn't ended for lack of readership or readers or buyers or whatever. It was ended because they were trying to trim down the amount of X titles, and so they canceled this series, which kind of upset John Byrne a bit, if I remember right. So there's that one. And then I also got him X-Men Unlimited #1, because I was like, well, you know what, I'll jump back to like the 90s team and see if you dig one of these. And there was an issue 1 in there, and I'm like, okay, well, that's a good starting point on this series. It looks like this one is mostly about Cyclops and Storm in a blizzard with Professor X, and Cyclops has to keep his eyes shut because, you know, he's got them beams. So, yeah, there's that one. Who did this one? Back in the day when a big book like this was only $4. Now all books are $4. And they're nowhere near this big. I didn't even bother to show the creative team on this. Let me go back and see if I can find it. Where's it at? There it is. Scott Lobdell. He did a lot of good X-Men stories. Chris Bachalo. I knew that was Chris Bachalo, however you want to say his name. I knew that was his art as I flipped through here. He did Generation X. That's one book he caught on fire with. It became a name with that book, I should say. All right. Next up is a book for Blaze, Alien 3, Issue 4, the unproduced screenplay. This is a book that does a comic based on the Alien 3 unproduced screenplay. Alien 3 is kind of a mess. It changed so much between what it was originally written and the movie, and the director not getting what the movie he wanted out of it and all that stuff. So William Gibson's doing the story on this one, adaptation, script, and art, Johnny Christmas. And then the rest of those, a lot of credits on here. I think that Blaze has been enjoying this so far. I think regardless, he would finish off the book. Just because, you know, you make it so far into a book, you got to finish it off. Look like Bishop back there. At least Android like Bishop. I like this art. This art's good. And then another book for Blaze. Excuse me. Let me keep this stack from falling everywhere. Stop, please. There we go. Marvel has done a second Conan book. The first Conan book is a success, so of course, let's do another book. Though they probably had this in their planning stages before the first one even came out. Now we have Savage Sword of Conan. This is issue 1, includes part 1 of an all-new Conan novella. And it is $4.99, which is kind of a bummer, but what can you do? Then we got legacy numbering, carrying forward, I guess, all the old Savage Sword of Conan numbers, but wasn't that a magazine? I can't remember. Jerry Dugan, Ron Garney, Richard Isanove on the book. These books are, like, super clingy today. I love Ron Garney art, so this is pretty cool. Look at that, like skeletal pirates. Yeah, he's digging the other Conan book, so he'll probably like this. Makes me hope that somebody does a new Conan figure soon. And last is a book for me, Winter Soldier #3 by Kyle Higgins and Rod Rise, whatever you want to say. I really, really like this book. This is probably my favorite monthly book right now, outside of Ghostbusters. I don't know if I've said that about something before, but I really enjoy it. Winter Soldier, his thing he's doing now is rescuing people out of, like, if they're a member of Hydra and they want to escape and they want to leave Hydra, he helps get them out and put them into a new life. He's working with Tony Stark. He's met up with this kid who's been trained as an assassin, and he's trying to get him out of that life, who kind of patterned himself after Bucky a bit. I really like the art. I really like the story. Ooh, the spot. Sorry if I ruined something for you guys. Yeah, I won't go too much further, but pretty awesome. Love this book. All right, and so that's it this week. As always, if you have any recommendations, leave them in the comments below. If you enjoy the videos, please click like and subscribe. Click notify. Yeah, and I'll see you guys next week.